guys. Good evening. Good evening. It's your girl, Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. And I'm so excited and so blessed to be with you guys on this beautiful, kind of almost wintry, but fall Tuesday, guys. So if you are new to any of my videos, I'm Folasade, the accountability accountant. I help individuals and small business owners save money on taxes, build profitable, scalable, and sustainable businesses so you guys can in turn build generational wealth. So on today's show, guys, we are having in my terminology, action-packed Tuesday, guys. So on segment one, we're going to talk about the rising auto loan debt, and we're going to talk about some strategies we're going to talk about some strategies for you guys to get rid of the loan or to prevent your car from being repossessed. If you know any of my story, I have experienced repossession, okay, of my Mercedes, and it's okay. So we're going to talk about that. And then in segment two, we're going to do a deep dive into this British Williams, the reality TV star. We're going to do a deep dive into her fraud claims, guys. And it's extremely interesting. It's actually relative to what's happening right now with the rapid PPP fraud, tax fraud. So I'm excited to dive into that because I have a lot of content. I think just my improvisations throughout this, you guys will learn a lot from her situation. Okay, so we about to get right into it because I was already running a bit behind. I think I'm gonna move the Instagram back just a little bit. I feel like y'all like real close. Yeah, I feel like y'all like real close to my face. Okay, so we about to get started, guys. So first things first. I don't know if you guys watched my video. I cannot recall when I did the video. It's some months. I did a video when I discussed about the amount of debt that we hold in the US, right? So I have walked you guys through on how to pull up the tax debt, and I broke it down during that live stream. What was it? Credit card debt, auto loan debt, student loan debt, and everything. I didn't even think to even pull that up for you guys today, but I might be able to find it. But during that live stream, we walked through it all. So just if you want to catch that replay, head to my YouTube channel, guys. And I think if you search debt, it might come up, right? Okay. But on tonight's show, we're going to talk about the increase is the surge of repossessions that's happening. So first things first, I'm going to share my screen of this CNBC article. So if you guys are Instagram and you want to see my screen, head over to my YouTube channel, which is Folasade TV. So you can view my screen. I wish I could share you guys this on Instagram and multicast easily, but I cannot. So bear with me. But if you want to see my screen, head over to my YouTube channel, which is Folasade TV. So today's topic is about segment one topic is auto loan debt. And let's really be honest, guys. A lot of you don't want to be in the Black community. We really don't talk about money, so that's problem number one. If we discussed money a bit more often and made it common for us to talk about our failures, our mistakes, then we can really teach and educate people, because I'm a big advocate of teaching from experience. Like, that's why I talk to you guys about my personal experience. Like, I don't tell you guys experience off everybody else only. I also talk about my personal experience. And that's where I find like I make the most impact, by being transparent. So if you had a family member, if we were more comfortable in the Black community talking about finances, and you had a family member that experienced a car repossession and gave you the strategy on how to prevent your car from being repossessed, then you will probably be better off. So the first thing that I need us to start doing right now, guys, times are getting too tough for us to just brush this under the rug. So I think it's best now for us to start having these money conversations, okay? So let me go ahead and show this article. All right, so the article says why Americans are struggling with car loans. Okay, so it says there are more than 27.5 million cars. So remember, guys, I do wear glasses. but it's bringing a glare when I do live streams right now, so I cannot wear them. So just bear with me. There are more than 27.5 million cars on the road today. But in the recent years, car ownership has gotten more expensive than ever due to the COVID-19 pandemic, supply chain issues, stubborn inflation, and the Federal Reserve's interest rates hike. Outside of purchasing your first home, a new car is the second largest purchase. So let's stop there. Outside of your home, okay, purchasing a vehicle is your second largest purchase of your lifetime. So you're going to go buy the house or buy the car first and then buy the house, however way you do it. But the bulk amount, the amount of debt is your highest. Okay. And so when you are investing into large purchases, you're supposed to think not only once, not only twice, but 3 times. Oh, do I really need this? Oh, well, do I really need this vehicle? Okay. Can I afford this vehicle? Okay, well, can I afford the insurance on this vehicle, guys? There's so many layers to purchasing a vehicle and purchasing a home that you guys probably did not actually take into consideration. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't eat, well, I did take it into consideration, but I really didn't. Like, I wanted the car because my Dodge had got crashed, totaled, and I was like, well, my Dodge Charger was already paid off. I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to get a car note, then I'm going to get whatever I want, right? And that's what I proceeded to do. That was my only thought process. Don't do what I did, and I hope you didn't do the same thing. Okay, do not do that. What you want to do is just make sure that that is within your budget. I came from a Dodge to a Mercedes. Like, is that the same budget? Hell no, right? So that's something to really consider. Don't just jump. It's like levels to luxury, guys. And I jumped. But yeah, we're here. So let me go back and share the screen and finish reading, guys. All right, so it says outside of purchasing your first home, a new car is the second largest purchase for most people, actually, a majority of everybody. Okay. It says more than 100 million Americans have a car loan. 100 million Americans. But didn't they say only 27.5 million cars on the road? Hold up. Wait. Let me go back. Did they just say? Yes. Okay. Okay, they say it's more. Or was that 275 million? Okay, I'm really going to have my glasses, guys. I think that's 275 million. Okay, that has to be. Okay. I was about to say, that means y'all just sitting on credit card, student car loan debt? Like, okay. They says 275 million cars on the road and 100 million Americans have car loans, okay? And it says the auto loan debt in the US currently stands at $1.5 trillion. $1.5 trillion, guys. That's a lot. $1.5 trillion. Okay, it says in 2023, the average monthly loan payment for a new vehicle is $725, up from $650 in 2022, according to Experian. The average monthly payment for used vehicles is $516 in 2023, up by 2% from 2022. It says outstanding balances continue to grow. Consumers are still originating auto loans, said Melanie. The volume is a little lower, but the loan amounts are certainly higher. So they're basically saying that you guys are getting more like luxury vehicles, kind of, or getting more high priced vehicles. So I'm about to stop sharing the article, guys, and we're about to do a deep dive into what's happening right now. Okay. Alrighty. So they says 275 million vehicles on the road and over 100 million car loans. And the amount that they said, I think they said it's 2.2 million. I'm about to share my screen on that. 2.2 million cars got repossessed in 2023. And that's more than what was repossessed in 2022. So problem number one, guys, I think we're being impulsive because even as straight minded or as disciplined financially as I am, I still get a bit impulsive. Not lately, thank God. But earlier during my more disciplined, when I was my discipline was being challenged, finally making some coins, you're like, oh, so we end up making a few impulse buys. So step number one, guys, when you are making any major purchases, your house, investments, cars, even bags nowadays, please, number one, see if it's what you really want and also what you really need. And then the reason why I say it's want and need, because number one, if you need a vehicle, you have to get a vehicle to get back and forth to work or to make money. But if you also want it on top of needing, it kind of excites you to pay for the car, because the last thing you want to do is pay for a car note that you don't like. So if you're gonna have a car note, stay within your budget, but make sure it's something that you want so you can be encouraged to continuously make the payments. So number one, don't impulsively buy any vehicles, used or new. Okay, if you can hold out, hold out. The second thing that I need you guys to do, if you are behind on your car payment or you're going to fall behind, if I were you, I will call your lender. If you know you're going to fall behind, call your lender and say, hey, I would like to do, I forgot the exact terminology it was. I think it's a temporary forbearance or something like that, or temporary defer your payments. You want to defer your payments, and they normally allow you to defer your payments for 3 months. Okay, now they may make you pay a little bit, maybe like 20% of your car note for that month. But once you make that amount, they'll normally defer your payments for 3 months. Now, the payments don't go away, okay? They're there, but they're delayed and it won't hit your credit score and things like that. And it also will prevent them from repossessing the vehicle. So, number one, call your lender, okay? And then let me tell you, from my own experience being an entrepreneur, guys, as I was building my firm, I didn't have any loans. You guys are really lucky to get like the SBA loans and all of those things as you were midway building your companies. But when I started my company, I didn't have any help at all, right? So I basically had to sacrifice my personal financial um, resources to put back into my company. So I ended up using this 3 month deferment, right? To actually prevent me from losing my vehicle and having to take money home to cover my expenses. So during my journey of entrepreneurship, yes, my car has been repossessed, but I've also used the deferment to give me that gap in paying my car note as well. I'm not going to tell you what the car note amount was, but whatever it was, I was able to put it away and also take care of some expenses for my office, because when you're not coming from a rich household, you have to sacrifice to build your company, and the sacrifice comes from your personal finances, your lifestyle. So I had to sacrifice my personal household to keep my business afloat, and I used the deferment option as well to do that. So you guys can use the deferment option to prevent you from being repossessed, or if you know you're going to fall short or you've lost your job. Okay, you want to definitely consult with your um, whoever housed your loan. Another thing, guys, possibly refinance. And so if you know you've been paying on time, you have a decent credit score, maybe look into refinancing your auto loan as well. Possibly refinance it. See if you can take it to a credit union, get a lower interest rate. Remember, the lower your interest rate, the lower your payments. Depending on how good or bad your credit score is, you may have a prime or subprime loan. Okay, prime meaning you can get a loan from anywhere. Subprime means they have a difficult time because your credit is poor. They have a difficult time getting your loan. So you guys may want to reach out to your credit union and see if they will allow you to refinance the vehicle and get a lower payment or see if your current lender have that option as well, so you can get a lower payment to prevent the foreclosure, but also so you guys can save. So I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Due to times being completely uncertain about things, I am also going to be implementing a lot of my own strategies just so I can just save up. Like, because I'm self-employed, nothing is guaranteed, right? And I don't like to just dwindle all of my savings. So I need to also come up with and utilize some of my strategies as well to save money and put some stuff away, because we don't know what's going to happen anytime soon, guys. Honestly, it's no way to predict. All of the countries in Africa are failing. It's just so much going on. Hold on, guys. Okay, let me go to this article. Okay, so this article, let me share my screen, guys. So this article is saying what caused the repossession. So, guys, it's a lot of things that's causing the repossessions. Let's see. What's causing the rise of repo cars in 2023? As we enter into 2023, the worrying trend that they're saying here is the new car. Okay, let me just stop and give you guys some context. This whole system, the whole US economic system is kind of rigged. If you do not know anything, our stock market and our economic system is driven by consumer confidence. So you being confident in our banks and in our government and in the system drives our stock market up. It shows that we are stable. If you guys are thinking, oh my gosh, everything is going to crash, I don't trust the bankers, I don't trust this, I don't trust that, you guys start pulling money out because you're worried, then the stock market goes down. Crazy, right? Just off our perception. It's really supposed to be driven off the financial statements of each company. But since our dollar is not backed by gold or anything that's tangible, I personally don't think that the financial statements are really being utilized to monitor the stock prices. I really think it's solely now consumer confidence. Okay, I just wanted to give you guys that context so you guys can understand that the uncertainty lies in our perception. And that's crazy, but that's really what it is. Okay, so it says, as we enter 2023, a worrying trend, remember the key word, that's why I had to stop so we can see the key words that they're saying. Worrying trend has carried into the new year. That worrying trend is what? Car repossessions will rise. So if they're worried from what I just taught you, then what's going to happen? Okay. Families across America struggle financially due to an enduring economic financial crisis, job losses, and inflation. And yes, all of that is happening right now, guys. That's why I said it's a myriad of problems. We are in a sticky situation where not one thing will solve, not one solution will solve all of the problems we have. We have to independently assess our economics and separate each one and then evaluate the impact and then go from there. But it's just so deep. I don't think we will ever get stable again until we have a full reset. I'm going to be honest. Okay. It says the burden of livelihood weighs heavy on millions as they reassess their spending and work to secure stable incomes. Unfortunately, the financial hardship of countless Americans ripples outwards, trapping them in rising debt that can reverberate how and when they least expect it, such as struggling to afford their cars. The ripple effect from the current economic turbulence has spread across the entire nation, making its impact known in even the most unlikely places. Lower incomes, reduced job security, and disrupted salaries have created a complicated situation with increased auto loans default rates. The distribution tracks the course of relentless financial hardship. So basically, guys, they're saying that due to well, they're trying to say it's a ripple effect from COVID, right? But I have to be honest with you guys, and I'm going to stop sharing really quick. As an accountant, the ripple effect didn't start with COVID because many Americans didn't have a savings prior to COVID. Many Americans had a high amount of debt prior to COVID. Okay. So I don't believe that it was only driven from COVID. I feel as though it started prior to COVID. We were hoping that the moratoriums and the rent moratoriums and the government was going to do a little bit more. So we played a little bit, paid down something, did a little something, tried to start a little business, and then the money ended up being gone. And then you're like, holy cow, I still have bills to pay. I still haven't paid everything down. No more stimulus payments. My job didn't give me a pay raise. I'm not doing overtime. And so I think it started prior to COVID because this $1.5 trillion in credit card debt didn't just come out of the woodworks in 2022, guys. 2020, 2021. It didn't. This was accumulating, and I don't even feel like searching for the debt accumulator and all of that stuff right now because that's not really today's show to really show you guys all of those. I did a live stream specific about the US dip. Okay, so you guys want to check that out if you want me to do a deep dive into what's happening. So guys, to be really honest with you, if you do your budget, and I know you guys hate it, the big word B, right? I'm gonna call her, yeah. If you guys do your budget, including all of your expenses and your habits, right? You'll really see where your money is going. And if you have enough, like I think a lot of you don't want to realize that you don't make enough money. Or you know it, but don't want to figure out an alternative to it, which may be first cutting back. Some of you may not be able to get your nails done all the time. Some of you may not be able to go to games and do sporting events. And honestly, guys, I had to sacrifice. It's not as bad as you think once you're comfortable in your own skin and know what goals you're trying to accomplish and can be honest about your financial state. Once you are who you are, exactly how I want you guys to be, you don't even really have to tell your friends that you don't have the money. You'll just say, oh no, I'm planning, I'm saving for right now, and they'll get it. You understand? Or no, I don't have it right now because I want to do something else. They'll get it. But a lot of you are still spending and not looking at your budget, and it's catching up with you. So we've been spending excessively. Honestly, when I think about it, since the Kardashians. Because even with me, I was triggered, not necessarily the Kardashians, but the social lifestyle. So I'm gonna say we've been literally as a system been overspending for about the course of the past 20 years. And we've been able to use credit cards to assist us. And so now we're here. Okay. Let me go to my notes, guys. Y'all know I always kind of go off script. Another issue that came to play is that now, and I briefly mentioned this in my intro, is that the car loans have increased beyond the student loan debt. I was totally surprised by that. But when I think about it, I had to take a step back. I'm not totally surprised. A lot of people are using their cars to make money. Okay. A lot of you guys, no tea, no shade. I know I'm going to have to say this, was encouraged to buy all of them vehicles for your business. And you know, you didn't even need the vehicle for your business, right? And so you did that. So you're part of some of those. because they told you it was a tax write-off. And then you have some people that started side hustles or was doing the churro. And so, guys, with the increased repossession is a collective of the new influx churro renters, rentees. Yeah, rentees. Yeah. And then the business owners being encouraged to write off and get tax write-offs for auto loans. Okay. Then a lot of people are now using their vehicles to make money. So now I see why there were more auto loans this year, last year, than it was in the previous years. And now I see why it's going to be a lot of foreclosures. I just saw a post on social media where a lady was like, a lot of service providers are going back to work and getting 9 to 5s. And I'm not surprised because you guys are not doing the budget. You guys are not doing the budget. I don't care how much money, and people used to ridicule me when I say this. I don't care how much money you guys are bringing in. You still need to do a budget. You still need to do a budget, guys. It's no way around it. And honestly, you want to be in control over your finances. Like I know not to the penny, but I know to the dollar how much my bills are every month. I know to the dollar how much my payroll is every month. And you guys are supposed to be the same. It's not a nerdy thing, guys. It's a financially smart thing. It's the adult thing. It's not a nerdy thing because I get, oh, your accountants are smart. You guys are nerdy. You guys like math. You guys like numbers. It doesn't matter, but it's the adult thing to do, guys, is to have your budget monthly and then allow you to be in control before. So like when people borrow money from me, I will tell them, hey, I need my money back by this day, 2 months, or, and I know in my mind, I will need it because I already planned 3 months in advance. And so you guys can do the same thing. All of this is doing is budgeting and then planning when you're going to do your trips, knowing when you're going to get your hair done, knowing when you're going to get your nails done. That's just being an organized person. Let's really be honest. That's just being really an organized person, guys. Alrighty. So the reason why the car loans amount, the total amount of debt is higher than the student loan amounts is because one, the interest rates, and then also it seems like it's just so easy to get car loans nowadays. It's like it's no regulation involved with it. Just like back in the day when they encouraged us to get student loans, it was like no regulation for it. Okay. So for the first time since 2010, auto loan debt has outpaced student loan debt. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, experts say that the reversal is primarily due to the federal government. Listen, they said primarily due to the federal government pausing interest accrual on federal student loans and the blistering rate at which vehicle prices increased in 2021. So I can agree with them pausing the student loans, because then that means we didn't have to pay our payments. But I remember a lot of my clients were still making their payments as well. A lot of people are still making their payments. With persistent high inflation, more Americans are defaulting on their auto loans payments. According to Experian, 30-day delinquencies increased to 2.72% in the second quarter of 2023, surpassing the COVID levels. Why did this matter? As the federal student loan program resumed, October was the first payment, guys. Interest rates remain high. Consumers may find it increasingly difficult to keep up with your auto loan payments because now you're having to pay everything. So if you are also paying student loans, don't forget to contact them and go online and see if you can qualify for a different type of repayment option. So they have like 4 to 5 different type of payment options that each and every one of you might qualify for. Okay. And so sometimes, guys, you have to pay the minimum amount to stay afloat. Sometimes you may have to find programs. Some of you may now need to start looking for grants that fit your lifestyle. So if it's like a grant for single moms, or grants for startup businesses, or grants, like this may be the time for you guys to get extremely creative with figuring out ways to make ends meet, while all of what we're not in control over, this war and government and everything else, while they get all of this settled, we're trying to still make money and stay afloat, guys. So that's basically all I have for you guys for this student loan, auto loan issues that we're facing right now, guys. Do your budget, contact your lenders, guys, and make sure that you don't just run. Call them. They know, and they might be a little feisty too, but don't let them get you worked up. Won't have time for them. Just call them and figure out what programs they have from you. And every lender is different, okay? So your girlfriend lender might say something else. That don't mean you shouldn't try your lender, okay? Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, guys, so I'm about to switch. I'm going to take a quick little break, and then we're about to dive into this British William thing. So you guys might as well grab your libation. I think I'm going to have to go to the bathroom on this one because, guys, I ended up finding her original indictment before she was on Love and Hip Hop. Oh, no, before she was on Basketball Wives. I found the original indictment showing the tax return years that she defrauded, the Social Security numbers, and the programs and everything that she ended up defrauding, guys. So we're about to deep dive into that. And I'm going to teach you guys how, from what they're saying, the mind frame from my perspective, being an IRS enrolled agent, what an IRS agent may look for, maybe how the audit came up, where did it originate from, and all sorts of stuff, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take me a quick little break, guys. We're about to dive into this British William thing, and I'll be right back,
y'all. I didn't realize how much help that I needed when I started my business. Like, I knew I couldn't do it by myself, but I didn't know to the extent of how much help I would need. You know, so this is why your accounting is so important, because it's the difference between you being a one-man band for the rest of your life and you being able to hire your next right-hand man. And see, so for example, like me, I'm a service provider. So if I hire another individual in my office, the next thing would be someone that has a CPA or an enrolled agent, someone with the credentials of my caliber, right? So I can now officially somewhat delegate everything to them, right? And so it costs to hire an accountant. It costs. I'm going to have to pay them no less than maybe 70 G's. So while all of you entrepreneurs thinking that it's so easy to really grow your business, now I already have 100 grand in payroll already. So when I add on another 70, so that's now taking my total payroll to $250,000. And so while you small businesses think that it's a game to level up and grow your businesses, when it's time for you to sacrifice that 70,000 to pay somebody, you're not willing to do so. So you stay where you are.
it is that we want. If you don't like yourself, if you don't think you're cute enough, or if you don't have enough money, what could we do to change it? Nobody right now, when we are in this day and time, should be hating on nobody or should be judged. All of us have the same 24 hours. All of us have the same opportunities. Now, the moment that Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube start charging us to use their platform is the moment that we all can't say we have the same opportunity. But right now, we all have the same opportunity. So what is stopping you from doing what you need to do and hustle? What's stopping y'all? First of all, stop watching everybody. So when you are not where you want to be in life, guys, it's a difference between watching people to get motivation and watching people and start to develop hate. Because you guys can watch so much to the point where you forget that for you to get to their level, you have to do work. So you begin to hate. So what is it? What do we need to do? And I think the first thing we all need to do is accept accountability. Accept accountability for where you are right now. If you're not happy, write down why. If you're not financially stable, write down why. So like me, I had to do an evaluation of myself. I said, okay, I'm pretty consistent, I'm pretty disciplined, but not as bad as consistent and disciplined as I could be. So guess what I wrote down? Be more consistent. Be more disciplined. Hey guys, welcome back to the Money Zone. I'm your host, Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. And look, if you guys missed out on segment 1 and you are suffering from any type of delinquency and credit card debt, student loan debt, or auto loan debt, then you want to head over to our YouTube channel, Folasade TV, and watch the replay. My team should have the replay up within like 24 to 48 hours after we finish tonight's show. Okay, so segment 2, guys, it's going to be fun under the sun. Okay, no. Okay, it's going to be fun, guys. So we're talking about the British Williams case, guys. And I have all of the documentation. I'm giving you newbies how I used to do things in 2020, 2014, 2015, 2016, 18, 19, 20, and then I shut down. So we about to bring it back. So first of all, let me give you guys some context. If you don't know who British Williams is, she was on the Basketball Wives. And if you know most of them ladies, they're on that platform because they were connected to a basketball player and they live a lavish lifestyle, okay? I cannot recall the years that she was on the show. I didn't want to go and do all of that deep dive because I'm not a celebrity follower or I don't idolize celebrities. I don't know when she was on the show. I didn't want to even research the dates, but I got the financial documents. That's what I'm more so concerned about. But I don't recall what year she was on the show. But I do know prior to the show, she was scamming. While she was on the show, she was scamming. While she was off the show, y'all, she was scamming. And the list goes on and on and on. And guys, remember, I always told you guys, what you do in the dark comes out in the light. I wish in our community we did not sack or put money on such a pedestal that we're willing to do anything, kill, steal, rob, just destroy your whole future just for a couple of thousands of dollars. So after watching today's show and watching my content, guys, I want you to fully understand this. You guys can go out and make the money as long as you build your value. Go and build your value. And then for my women that don't want to really work and do all of that, go and build your value too. And then you might get, whipped away with, from a rich guy or something like this. But guys, scamming is not the solution. So we first got to dive into it. It says British Williams and don't forget, guys, if you're on Instagram and you want to see my screen, head over to my YouTube channel, which is Folasade TV, okay? All right. Oh, so She was on, I'm about to read it. British Williams from Basketball Wives has been sentenced to 4 years in prison for being involved in several schemes. Okay, it says Williams, she's 33, y'all, pleaded guilty today. She pleaded guilty to 15 felonies, which included one, misusing social security numbers, two, making false statements to the IRS, three, wire fraud, and then they say her deceptive actions continued even after federal agents first got in touch with her and indicted her. As the sentencing hearing made clear, Assistant United States Attorney Diana highlighted the seriousness of Williams' crimes, emphasizing the need for strict punishment. The U.S. District Judge stated, "You knew what you were doing." He said, "You knew what you were doing, guys." Sorry, I'm getting distracted from my text messages. He said, "You knew what you were doing. You knew it was wrong, and you did it anyway." In addition to her prison term, Williams will be on supervised release for 5 years and must pay $564,069 in restitution. So, guys, I'm going to stop sharing this, and then we're going to go into the first indictment, okay? Because I was totally surprised. When I tell you guys, I didn't think it went back this far. I'm thinking, she did the PPP, you know what I mean? And that was it. No, guys, she was a scammer from way back. Y'all know, if you grew up in the hood, or, you went around your family in the hood, right? You knew it was always a scammer that, had the social security numbers and was doing some dirt or whatever. It sounds like she was like in the midst of all of that. Okay, guys. So I'm about to share my screen of her indictment, and this is from 2021. Yep, September 22nd, 2021, okay? I was totally surprised when I looked through this. Okay, guys. So on September 22nd, 2021 was when the indictment was filed. So it counts, number one, misuse of social security numbers. It says, on or about the dates listed below, within the Eastern District of Missouri, the defendant, they put her whole name, with the intent to deceive and for the purpose of obtaining anything of value from another person and for any other purpose, did falsely represent a number to be the Social Security account number assigned by the commissioner. Okay, so basically she used somebody else's Social Security number, guys. Okay, and she used somebody else's Social Security number to get credit cards. So it says British Williams used other people's Social Security cards for the purpose of obtaining loans, lines of credits, or other monies from the below named financial institutions. So here are the banks that she got the loans from. She got the loans from Heights Financials, Discover, and this started in 2017. November 8th, 2017, she got a loan from Heights Financial. September 20th, 2017, she got a credit card from Discover. September 13th, 2017, she got a TD bank card or credit card. On March 14th, 2017, she got a USAA. It does it as the Army savings account. And then on September 6th, 2017, she ended up getting an account through Navy Federal Credit Union. On 1, 2, 3, 4 of the accounts, she used the same Social Security number. On one of them, she used another Social Security number. Like I said, guys, she started scamming before COVID. Remember, COVID happened 2020. February was when the loans were starting to be issued. She started scamming prior, 2017. So like I said, she was like one of them neighborhood criminal scammers, basically. Okay. Let me go back. Okay, so count 6 through 9. It says at all times relevant to the indictment, the financial institutions listed in the tables below in paragraph 3, 4, and 6 were all financial institutions within the meaning of and were insured by the FDIC. This is crazy, guys. They even got it down here. Oh, the step by step. They got everything down. This girl, she was a scammer, guys. Okay. Alrighty. So then her scheme to defraud. It says beginning on or about March 13th, 2018, in the Eastern District of Missouri, the defendant, British Williams, aided and abetted by individuals known and unknown to the grand jury, devised a scheme to obtain monies, funds, and assets owned by and under the custody and control of federally insured financial institutions. They could have just said the banks, by means of false and fraudulent pretenses and representation. See, guys, this goes back to why I've always been begging you guys to not file for these bank loans fraudulently. See, not only did she get caught up from using other people's social security numbers, that's one charge. She also misrepresented the information that she put on her actual applications, which is exactly what many of you guys were taught to do by a lot of these online gurus, telling you to overstate your income to qualify for the loans, telling you guys to use personal credit to start a business or business to fund your personal, just all over the place. And so basically, she did exactly what a lot of you actually have done too, which is inflate the number so you can qualify. Okay. It says beginning in 2018, the defendant opened bank accounts with different business names, personal names, and social security numbers. On 3/13/2018, she opened it up at Busy Bank with her name and her social security number used. And the business name was Label Whore. On 9/21/2018, she went back to Busy Bank and she used a different social security number and used her middle name as her first name, and the business name was BW Gordon LLC. And on 5/29/2019, she went to First Bank. She used her real name, but with a different social security number, with the last 4 digits of the social security number being different. And she used a different business name, BCW LLC. And if you look at how she did it, you could tell it was intentional, because on the first loan, it says British, her middle name, Williams, and then the social security number last 4 is 3303. Then she did Sharia, or whatever her middle name is, Williams, then the last 4 digits, 3304 of her social. Then she did her full name again, right? But then last 4 digits of the social, 3305. This looks deliberate. It was further part of the scheme to defraud that the proceeds deposited by defendant on or about the dates below into these bank accounts, including checks from legitimate bank accounts paid to the order of defendant or one of the defendant businesses without the knowledge or consent of the account owner. Oh my goodness. So she was taking checks. Yeah, this sounds like the typical, you know what I mean? Hood rat, street joint, the popular girl, the popular dude that's finessing and scamming. This sounds like the typical fraud. So they found the checks and then she deposited them into those banks. And it's all different victims too, all different people she got different checks from. It was further part of the scheme. She done something else. She ended up depositing those checks, and then she ended up withdrawing the cash. So when the illegitimate checks were then returned for insufficient funds, the banks incurred a loss. So she was depositing the fake checks, withdrawing the money before it can clear, and then, the banks would be hit with the loss. Oh, goodness. And then, guys, I don't think you guys really realize that every part of your scheme has a different charge. Every part of your scheme has a different charge. The mailing of the documents, mail fraud. Collecting the money via EFT, wire fraud. Completing an application, falsifying documentation. So just with one scam, that is about 4 different charges, guys. So the next count that she committed was bank fraud. Okay. So they said that she tried to execute a plan to obtain money, funds, or other property owned by or under the control of the banks listed below by means of material, false, or fraudulent pretenses, representations, or promises. It says Miss Williams did deposit fraudulent checks into these bank accounts, knowing that it was not a legitimate authorization, basically. They say it was not a legitimate recipient of those funds and had no authorized or legal purpose for accepting the funds. So let's say, for example, I send you $5,000, right? And you don't get that $5,000. And somebody else get that $5,000. And I end up tracing the money. You end up tracing the money, and they ended up finding out the bank account, right? So then we contact that person and say, that money was never intended for you. Okay, that person by law have to return that money. If they don't return the money, that's when you now can either charge them civilly or criminally. And a lot of you guys don't realize that. You say if 20,000 hit your bank account, you're not returning it. Do you know you can go to jail? That is considered theft because you was not the intended recipient. So don't do that. Do not do that. If any money hit your bank account, guys, and it's not yours, go ahead on and give the people money back. So she wasn't supposed to be withdrawing that money or even receiving the check. So the bank lost not only the $4,500 that she withdrew out, the $4,500 that they probably had to deposit back into the victim's account. So the bank ended up losing $9,000 just in one transaction from her. And then if you double it for each one, yeah. And they say it's all in violation of Title 18, United States Code Section 1344. Okay, so we on counts 10 through 12. Remember, guys, she had 15 counts, 15 felonies, okay? This one is the false statements, and this is the one I love. Well, not to say I love. This taxes. This the IRS. This is the one I'm most excited about. The other stuff, that's the law stuff. This is the accounting stuff I love. Okay, it says Miss British made and presented, how many of you guys made and presented to the IRS a claim? Every time you guys put something on your tax return, you're making a claim. Every line is a different claim, okay? So you're claiming child tax credit. You're trying to claim the itemized deductions. Make sense? Okay. So they says British Williams made and presented to the Internal Revenue Services a claim upon the Internal Revenue Service, that is, that the below listed individuals, the IRS is being so petty with this one, guys. that she actually had dependents on her return. So she basically filed her tax return and claimed somebody else's children. Okay. The people that's listed here, guys, was so-called her dependents. They say here, knowing that the claims were false and fraudulent, in that these individuals were not her legal dependents. So remember, guys, for you to fully claim someone that is not, for you to claim, I have to get better with this stop share. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me share this up again so I can get back to the screen, but I got to get used to this. Okay, hold on. Then let me just remove it from my screen. Okay. All right, guys. So yes, you can claim your niece. Yes, you can claim your nephew, but you have to meet the rules. The rules said that first of all, they have to be either qualifying child or qualifying relative of yours. Okay. And your niece can qualify as a qualifying relative, but that niece had to have lived with you for 6 months or more, and you had to provide 50% or more of their living expenses. So live with you for 6 months or more, and you had to provide more than 50% of their living expenses. And more than likely, I don't think she ended up doing that. Because if you can prove to the IRS that they did live with you for 6 months or more and that you did provide for them, which in the Black community, it is often that, the sister taking care of the niece, so the grandmother's taking care of the grandbaby. It's pretty often, right, that that's the case. So she could have just easily proved to them that, oh yeah, I'm his guardian. His doctor records come here. I'm taking us to his doc's appointments. His school records come here. Here's what I spend on him every month. Here's what I spend on him, throughout the year. But I don't think she was able to come up with those records, guys. So they basically said, when you filed your 2019 tax return, you try to claim your nephew and you did not qualify to claim your nephew. Okay. And also, she filed her tax return real early too. For 2019, she filed her tax return on January 14th, 2020. That's early. Yeah, that's real shit. As soon as tax season opened, she filed her tax return with her nephew. So she probably got the earned income tax credit. She got the child tax credit. She probably did head of household and everything, guys. Okay, same thing for 2018. She filed pretty early as well. She filed to February 5th, 2019, right within those individuals that qualify for the what the government say, the poverty tax credits. I just tell you guys what the government say. The government called the earned income tax credit and all of this stuff the poverty tax credit. Okay. So that's what they call it. And then for 2017, same thing. And she claimed 2 people in 2017, her niece and her nephew, and she filed pretty early. And they said that was all in violation of Title 18 of United States Code Section 287. Guys, I've been telling you it is illegal. And don't give me this, oh, they're just doing this because it's British. It's British. Folasade, it's British. No, that's not the case, guys. Once you do dirt, they have the opportunity to fish for every type of crime that they think you've committed. And remember, guys, I've been telling you this for years. There's a paper trail behind this money game. You guys think that you can collect $5,000 and deposit it somewhere and I won't find it? I will find every dollar you have. I will find it. And that's exactly what happened. So the moment they figured out that she was scamming using social security numbers, remember, that's a financial crime. The problem is the moment she scammed, right? She was supposed to also include the amount that she scammed in that tax return. So let's say, for example, she scammed in 2017 and she scammed for $50,000. She was supposed to file her 2017 tax return in 2018 and include the $50,000 of scam money, but she didn't. So in addition to that, she also then claim children that she wasn't supposed to. And every financial crime connects, guys. The moment you make money and you don't report it on your tax return, you open up the door to tax fraud. And I think that's exactly what happened. When they realized she was doing Social Security fraud and all of that stuff, that's a financial crime. They're going to look at your tax return. They're going to look at your bank accounts. They're going to look at all of that stuff. This is why I do not like for you guys to cheat financially on things, because we don't know what can of worm you're opening for yourself. Or you go and do, or your girlfriend or baby mother or baby father do something, whatever the case may be, y'all getting messed each other up, then somebody get arrested, then that open up other cases for them. Like, all of this stuff actually do connect, guys, and they are really encouraged to work together, these different jurisdictions and these different departments now. At the each of one of these, all these cases, that says, oh, and the IRS and the Department of Justice have excitedly worked together. I'm like, yeah, we know. I've been telling you guys. So remember, guys, do not fall for this. Claiming someone's child that you did not provide more than 50% of their living expenses and them living with you for 6 months or more. If that's not the case in both scenarios, you do not have a legal right to claim them on your taxes. That's an old school tax fraud scheme that is out. The IRS is hip. That's why they're monitoring and preventing you to get your refunds earlier now, so they can match the Social Security numbers on your tax return to the database. And this is why a lot of you guys have to go through that extensive verification process as well. Okay, so the next count, and this one's another one, taxes, wire fraud. Remember, guys, I told you, the moment that you guys receive money via the internet, bank, electronic, you deposit it, it becomes now wire fraud, okay? And this is counts 13 through 15. It says the defendant caused to be prepared and submitted to the Internal Revenue Services her personal federal income tax returns, claiming refunds and tax credits. Remember, refunds and tax credits in excess of or in addition to the allowable amounts of refunds and credits. So basically, she got refunds that she was not allowed to get. And remember, when they say allowable, that means you may not have been able to claim it, or you took an amount above what you were supposed to. So let's say, for example, she had one child, but then she claimed her niece and her nephew. Yes, she was allowed to claim the child tax credit, but it wasn't allowable for the other two children for her to claim the child tax credit for. I hope that makes sense. So she might have been allowed to claim something, but not all that they said that she claimed, okay? Okay, it says the defendant caused the electronic submission of her, so she submitted her taxes electronically, okay? Oh, guys, they went back. And I'm going to read this verbatim. It says the defendant caused the electronic submission of her U.S. individual income tax returns for the tax years 2013 through 2018 from the Eastern District of Missouri using Tax Act. So she used that online free software. The defendant's tax return did not identify a preparer. So when they report her tax return in the IRS system, our information goes on the 1040, the second page. When you guys submit your tax to the IRS, on your transcript, it says who prepared your taxes. So based off what they have and what they received from her, she didn't have a tax preparer file her taxes. So she seemed like she didn't did this scam on her own. Or it's normal for people to work together, but they don't put a tax preparer down there. I call them ghost preparers, guys. Alrighty, so here's the issues. It was part of the scheme that defendant used the names and social security numbers of KM and RM on defendant's tax returns in order to claim KM and RM as dependents during the relevant tax years, despite not providing for their care or expenses in order to fraudulently increase the amount of the tax refund to which she was entitled. So now, guys, after all of these years, the IRS finally, no, I'm saying IRS, God used, well, British screwed up. Okay. Sorry, British. I finally have a real live case because I've been telling you guys for years that claiming someone else's child is illegal. Now, with this British William case, you guys are seeing that it's illegal to claim somebody else's child that you didn't provide care for, financial care, and also for them to live with you. But I see that might go in one ear and out the other. Y'all like, oh, I ain't hear that Folasade. I'm still gonna claim my niece next year. Guys, do y'all know how many people have gotten caught up? Do y'all know how many people get caught up claiming people's children? They will never tell you. They just don't say nothing about their taxes no more. They don't say nothing about their refund. You know, everybody, oh yeah, I got 5,000 back. And then you ask, oh, did you file your tax return? Oh, not yet. Oh, not yet. No, they filed. They just don't get no refund back because they can't claim nobody's kids no more. But now you guys are seeing it. And I hate to say this, like that, but I'm glad this is happening. So all of you guys can see that I have not been lying over these years. Y'all probably thought that I didn't want you to claim your niece and your nephew or the lady down the street child because she only wanted $500 kickback. No, I didn't want you to claim their child because it was actually illegal. And I didn't want you to get yourself into something like this. And guys, right now, where we are, if you have done this, you better start praying because they remember I just said in my live stream the other day, they're doing a nationwide hiring spree. But in addition to that, they've invested millions into their electronic system. So what the electronic system means is that they can send out examination notices easily. They can set up some type of requirement for the system to search and then send out notices to everyone that fits that bracket or everyone that have that credit. And remember I said, thank gosh the tax return don't ask for your race because we will be duped. Okay, let me go back, guys. But now y'all seeing you cannot claim nobody's child, guys. It's really illegal. Let's say if she didn't scam in the other areas, right? She still would have eventually ended up getting caught up. Maybe not criminal case for claiming somebody's child, but you know that she would have to repay the tax credits back. Whatever refund she got, she's gonna have to pay all of that back. Okay, so now her last count, which is wire fraud. Okay, so it says Miss Williams, having devised and intended to devise a scheme to obtain money by means of materially false and fraudulent. Oh no, did I read this already? Hold on, guys. Oh yeah, you see? Hold on. I think I read that already. Yeah, I did. Okay. We're on the next one. Aggravated identity theft. It says Miss Williams knowingly possess, transfer, and use without lawful authority a means of identification of another person, to wit the names and social security number of the individuals listed below, knowing that the means of identification belong to another actual person during and in relation to the commission of the felony offense of wire fraud. Oh my God. Wait. No, only possess, transfer, and use without lawful. So basically, they're saying that she didn't even have authority to claim her niece and her nephew? Or they were somebody else's information? Oh my goodness. Let me read this again. Knowing that the means of identification belong to another actual person during and in relation to the commission of the felony offense of wire fraud. So these wasn't her nieces and nephews? Okay, guys, look like she didn't use somebody else's. Hopefully, it's her niece and nephew. And then them people, hold on, guys. I've seen this happen before, where the cousins say, "I did not give her permission to file my son this year. I only gave her permission to file my son last year." That is the problem. When you guys give you somebody else's your child information, they might file your child however year they want to, and you will have to try to beat them to filing your child on your taxes electronically. And that's probably why she filed her tax return so early, guys. It's starting to make sense now. She was probably trying to beat whoever originally are supposed to claim them children to. She was trying to beat them. Who files their tax return to February 5th, February 4th, and January 14th if you don't qualify for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, or you're trying to beat somebody in filing your children or their children? So even the timing of her filing, and then if I was her agent, I can bring up multiple cases where that same individual did the same type of thing. Oh, they knew that they were trying to beat the parent in filing the return. That's why they tried to file the return the date that the e-filing season opened. Your Honor, she has a consistent pattern, and look what she's done. But the years that she didn't file with the children, she filed late because she knew she wasn't going to get a refund, and she knew she didn't have to beat them to file the return. See, I will kill them in court. And see, you guys think I can't talk. My brain be thinking just too fast, guys. But see me in court now. I had to do or let me represent you in front of IRS. You see how I get down. Okay, so forfeiture allegations. It says, pursuant to Title 18, I'm not going to read all of the codes and all of this stuff. It says, upon conviction of an offense in violation Title 18, United States Section 1344, the defendant shall forfeit to the United States of America any property, real or personal, which constitutes or is derived from proceeds traceable to the said violation. Subject to forfeiture is a sum of money equal to the total value of any property, real or personal, constituting or derived from any proceeds traceable to said offenses. So basically, she got to forfeit her assets and stuff, guys. Anything that they can deem that was purchased from her doing her scams or whatever, then yeah. And guys, that was just her indictment from 2017. That don't even include the most recent indictment, guys. And I think I may have to talk about that on the next show because I have a whole family I need to put down to sleep. My baby's going to sleep at 8:30. I normally done with my show by 8 o'clock, guys. So I think I'm going to have to stop here and maybe do a live stream tomorrow and go into the present indictment that includes these cases, right? Because they never charged her. They indicted her, but they didn't charge her. I think they were just watching her. It's interestingly. While she was already under investigation, she did more dirt. She did the PPP, the COVID relief, and all of those things. So I think they're not going to have any remorse for her. They gave her 4 years, and I think she needs to thank her God for that because they could have gave her almost 15 years because you scammed in 2017 and then you scammed again while you were under our purview, our supervision. You knew we were indicting you and you still went to do dirt. So guys, I may have to finish up with the British William thing, but I just want you guys to take from today segment 2 lessons. Lesson number 1, you cannot just file any and everything on your taxes. I know people tell you you can claim anything and do all of this stuff. Yes, it's a voluntary system. But remember, if it's intentional, it's now fraud. Okay? If you intentionally put something on your tax return with the intent to reduce what you were supposed to be owing or to increase your refund, it is now fraud. What she did, which is false pretenses, misrepresentations, and all of that stuff. The second lesson that we need to take from this is that you guys cannot claim children that you did not provide care for. Okay? They have to have lived with you for 6 months or more. And also, you provide 50% or more of their living expenses. But we know, being the color of our skin, and then y'all know I'm Nigerian and Black American, so from both sides, you guys are claiming or have claimed children that you wasn't supposed to. Guys, please, can we just stop going forward now? I've already proven to you guys every type of thing that these people tell you is a tax strategy, or claiming somebody else's child illegal. Like, people tell y'all to do all sorts of stuff. It's not legal. Sit down with someone like me and we tax plan and we strategize, and we don't encourage you to cheat the system. What we do is say, oh, aren't you taking care of your mom? Oh, do you know your mom qualify as a qualifying relative? And the beauty of your mom and dad, they don't have to live with you. Yes. So then we claim the mom. Instead of having them search for somebody that they can claim a child for, we actually use the knowledge that we possess to strategize and save you guys money legally. And then think about it, guys. She ended up getting 4,500, 4,800, 4,800, 4,800. It's, what's that? Not even 5, 10, 50. That's not even 50,000. So $30,000 is worth you spending 1 year in jail? Like, literally, this is what you guys are doing. And I think I said this in my live stream the other day. Something of this nature, that you guys are really giving up your freedom for money. So what are we worth? What do the government have to give you guys to go to jail? What is it? $300 an hour? Because I recently saw the post that said, oh, if they pay us $300 an hour to pick cotton, then I'll go pick cotton. So all the government has to do is give you $300 an hour. You guys will go pick cotton and go to jail for money. Because scamming is similar to it. It's just that you don't know definitively if you're going to get caught up or if you're going to be in jail. It is no shortcuts, guys. And I have to be very honest with you. And this makes me want to cry so much. I even feel like me even want to cry now, right? Guys, I've been in the game. I'm 38. Okay? I've been in the game for a very long time. It is no tax scam that I don't know. But I refuse to do them for you guys because I know the impact. See, I know that the IRS can stop you from claiming your child for 5 years. You guys just don't know it. I know how it feels from, not my personal experience, it's from me representing people. I know how it feels to owe the IRS $150,000 because you got refunds that you wasn't supposed to get, and they caught you. And now that $5,000 refund, $10,000 refund, $20,000 refund turned into $150-something thousand tax debt. That now you have a lien on your house. And if I don't stay on top of things with you, you're going to have a levy on your bank account. A lot of you back in the day claimed educational credits, saying that you went to college and you guys didn't. Remember, tax fraud, there's no statutory limitations for tax fraud, guys. If you committed tax fraud, the IRS can wait for 20 years. And also, remember, Biden extended the time for the PPP 10 years. And I guarantee you, if they are not able, if they need more time to do more investigations, I guarantee you Congress will extend them another 10 years. So that's why I told my team that we have to be prepared for what's in store. And that's why I'm trying to become an attorney now. Because I already know it's going to be millions of you guys going down if I don't. Or if all of us accountants don't step up and start representing you guys. Like I'm not happy. I'm not happy, guys. I'm actually very disappointed. So I'm hoping that you guys can see from this British Williams situation that even those small $4,500 check scams claiming your child can all actually lead up to getting yourself caught up. And then the devil just tempted you. And one thing I know about the devil is that once you allow him to tempt you one time, he's going to continuously tempt you guys. And that's probably why a lot of you guys ended up doing that PPP scams, because you guys probably did stuff like British back in the day, and your tongue was like, he was like, oh, man, we're not going to ever be able to get this opportunity to do this again. So you were burning, you were itching. You was like, oh my gosh, man, yeah. And then you went and did your little scams. And they're still investigating unemployment. What's happening right now is that they're just collecting your information. They're collecting your 2022 tax return, and they're connecting them to your 2021 and your 2020. And then now they're going to be waiting for the 1099Ks that's going to be coming out this year for the first year. So between the 1099Ks and all 3 past year tax returns, the IRS, the Department of Justice, and every bank and every financial institutions can now conclude whether or not all of you committed fraud. And I warned you guys about this 3 years ago, that all of they're doing is just waiting for these 3-year tax returns. They're going to compare the information to what you reported. Because remember, one of the PPP, you need a 2020 tax return, 2019 tax return, and then you gave them authorization to pull 2021, 22, 23, 24, and 25-year tax returns. And I'm not saying all of this to like fearmonger you or put fear in any of you. What I want you to do is just stop scamming, guys. I know the government have do their own little tricks and trade, but that's just like jumping off the bridge because Bob jumped off the bridge. Are you gonna copy? Because somebody else is jumping off the bridge, you're gonna do the same thing that they're doing? No. You're gonna do what's right? I hope. I hope going forward. Because we cannot retract it. And guys, let me conclude with this one. A lot of you have committed fraud, and even accountants have told you guys this. And I have to debunk this. Even accountants told you guys, oh, you can amend your tax return later. Even accountants told you, you can amend your tax return later. If you committed tax fraud on your original return, an amended return does not cure the fraud. Actually, you now added another layer to the fraud and showed that it was actually intentional. So let me say this again for a lot of you that are very unclear. If you intentionally added income to your tax returns to qualify for loans and other things and other financial instruments, and someone, a mortgage broker, an accountant, a financial consultant told you that you can just amend the return later, I have to tell you the truth, guys. That does not cure, means alleviate you from the fraud. It doesn't. It doesn't. The fraud doesn't go away by you amending the return. The fraud has been signed and sealed the moment you submitted the tax return. And then also, guys, you keep forgetting this. I've been teaching you guys this, but you guys don't want to listen to me because I won't be fluffy and tell you to cheat. And the reason why I don't tell you to cheat is because my brain know how they can pick up on everything. So I know every loophole that the banks and everything use to connect the dots, and I already can see it. So if I can see it blatantly, why wouldn't the average person think that they can easily see it? Let me add this one other layer to this. You know, a lot of you guys got them loans and mortgages and things, and you put on your on your mortgage application 185,000, 220,000, 305,000. And then you filled out a form called 4506T, which a 4506T means you gave them authorization to pull your tax transcripts. And then if you did it blank, which I noticed a lot of banks were being slicky with that, and I warned you guys about that too, and told you guys to complete it, because if it's blank, then they can make photocopies and completely keep adding it in every year that they want to request copies. Don't put it past them. So why would they request copies of your tax return? Are you curious? To see what income you reported. Because if you reported 185 to them, and then you reported 150 to IRS, that's fraud. If you reported 100 to the IRS, but 220 to them, it's fraud. And you know why they will pull it? Because you became delinquent on your loan. In their mind, they're going to be like, well, this person told us they made $230,000 on their loan app. Why would they default on the loan? Let me pull their file for me. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let me go ahead on the faxes over to the IRS. Let me get a copy of their tax return. Let me see what their income is being reported. And because you've already defaulted on the loan and they see that you misrepresented your loan application, why wouldn't they sue you? Why wouldn't they hold you on criminal charges? When these banks start defrauding, when y'all start defaulting on all these loans, and these banks about to collapse, they're going to use that as their leverage. I guarantee you, I can feel it in my spirit. I can feel it in my spirit. Why wouldn't they? Well, that's all that I have for you guys. I enjoyed tonight's show. I hope you did. I didn't really get to engage with you guys. And see, guys, you see I stutter regardless. See, and I'm trying to talk slow. And y'all still see I stutter. I told you my brain, bleep, 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 bleep. So yeah, guys, just bear with me. So I enjoyed tonight's show, guys. I hope that you guys have taken a lot from today's show and stop trying to cheat on the taxes. Tax plan. That's it. The IRS already gave us a cheat code. They gave us a lot of tax credits and a lot of tax deductions. And they gave you opportunity to hire people like me to help you guys. Now, what if they didn't give us the tax credits and the deductions and allow you guys to work with us to strategize? Then I would say the tax code is rigged. But they're giving you guys the opportunity to do it right. You guys just don't want to do it right. You want to just cheat the system, get a couple of $1,000s, and think about the consequences later. And guys, my biggest fear is that in the next 5 to 10 years, the consequences are going to pile up so much. So many of you guys have done so many different scams. You've done the unemployment, you've done the PPP, that a lot of you guys might get jail time. Or if you don't get jail time, you're going to have a felony on your record, but you won't go to jail, and you're going to lose your jobs. Do you know how many people are losing their jobs now because they did the PPP scams and tax return scams and all of this stuff? They're getting caught up. It wasn't worth it, and I begged you guys. So now, since y'all didn't listen to me in 2020, when I begged you guys, when they first released the money in February, I did a live stream every day until I burnt out in May. Then I started back up, okay? So can you just take this warning, guys? They're coming. And they're coming to recover the economy and to pay for this war and to recover the economy. So with that being said, guys, remember, taxes is our primary income in the United States. And they know the IRS is sitting on trillions and trillions of uncollectible accounts, or trillions of accounts that need to be audited. Okay? And so they're going to be sending notices. They're going to be playing games with you guys because you guys have been playing games for years. So I'm your girl, Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. If you are under audit, if you do need representation, me and my team will be gladly to serve you guys against the IRS. Hopefully, I will be an attorney by the time you guys start to go to jail, and I can maybe represent you guys in tax court and then criminal court if it leads to that. Alrighty, guys, I love you guys, and just do better next time. Just do better. Do your budget. Stop cheating the system. Stop taking shortcuts. And then what? Y'all gonna praise me in 1 year when everybody start going to jail and y'all say, Folasade, you were right. You were the only accountant telling us this. I'm just not that type of girl that want to hear I was right. I like for you guys to just listen a little bit. I'm not the I'm right person. I'm the Folasade, I listen, girl, and I did this. That's what I mean. I'm not the type of person that want to see you guys down and lose everything. And then you say, I finally got a Folasade after I lost everything. Y'all should see, I'm like working on a few cases right now. I'm talking about upwards of owing close to millions of dollars. And I'm trying to prevent the IRS from closing down the business and hopefully accept the offer. And then I'm also hoping that the IRS don't think it's intentional. And then I have a few cases that intentionally did like some of the scams, and now I have to do amended returns and so we can get the amount that they're supposed to pay back. And then I'm hoping and praying that because it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s, that it don't lead to criminal cases for the people. Guys, I don't know what else to say for you guys. Just stop cheating, man. Tax plan, save your money, do things right so you can sleep at night. All right, guys. I will see you one day this week. I love you guys. Bye. Okay, hold on. Let me try to do my banner. Bye.